Hey everyone, so today is the 14th of August and we did have EPI on 8:30. For today, this is going to be my pre-market analysis. I'll be having a pretty loose bias for the day unless one of these things happens. For me, it's just on the lower probability side right now, but as for my draw, I definitely do want the London highs to get taken out. With that, I want us to manipulate on this sell side liquidity with an SMT because my 4 hour for backup draw has already been taken out. You can also look at the daily. This daily for backup is already filled. So for me, there's no reason for us to actually go lower, but I'm not closing the gates for us to go short. That's why I still marked out this sell side liquidity. If on market open, we like close below the OT of this leg, which is the sell side liquidity, then sure, I'm gonna look for shorts. But for me, I really want this London highs to be taken out. Like it's a strong draw, but we're looking pretty bearish. But I want us to at least manipulate on the upside, and this is only my only reason to go shorts. If ever we manipulate here with an SMT, let's say something like this, yeah, I'm gonna be looking for shorts, like strong rejection out of this for value gap, and this south side liquidity or internal range liquidity is still intact because if let's say we manipulate before market opens and take the sell side liquidity out, go higher, we can actually go for longs to this fair value gap, and that's gonna be done for the day. Or if I'm not seeing any valid long setups, then I'll wait for any sort of rejection here with an SMT and target here the internal lows. But with that, I'm really aiming for London highs. So let's see what's gonna be my trade for today. I'll be updating you later. Overall, that's just gonna be my loose buys for the day. I know I'm on the center, but overall, I'm leaning towards or putting weight on London highs as it is my draw on liquidity. Hi guys, market just opened and this is a forward test right here. Failed to see this SMT, but I also said to myself, I don't want to take this trade pre-market. Hence, I didn't take it, but this was decent longs if ever. And right now we tapped the 15-minute per value gap, which is great. And we have a slight bearish S&P right now. Let's see if that would hold. Yeah, we already filled that 15-minute gap, which was the gap that I'm wanting to fill. Really do want longs, but I didn't take this pre-market because this trade was 3 minutes before market opens. Right now, what I'll probably just wait is like a 5 minute retrace onto like a fair value gap of some sort or an SMT out of this internal high. Hi guys, checking it right now. I did miss this setup. This one was valid for not entering here because I didn't want to trade pre-market. That's like my rule. But right here, we can see that when price retrace onto this gap, which is a VPR, I'm already holding an internal SMT here, and let's check ES. ES 928 low was taken out, and this wasn't. This was long worthy, but it did overextend, right? It did overextend. This initial long was definitely great, but market open can easily manipulate lower, so I didn't want to risk that. I want to see a proper setup with proper timing, but seems like we're gonna be taking this London high without, opposition, which was definitely, is definitely quite unfortunate, but it is what it is. You're not gonna be able to catch every single move. Shorts are still viable, but if I'm gonna short, I'm not gonna short like up to this sell side liquidity, or let's just 5 minute for back gap and change in state as we can easily reject um out of this if we'll be shorting at this trend. But these longs were great. Definitely quite overextended because we had like what a 20, almost a 30 point move out of that. But this one was a great catch. If you did a limit order, then you're definitely a banger type person. But it is what it is. You're not gonna be able to catch every single move, and I'm not forcing any trades because I want to have them, high quality trades because for the past few, for the past few weeks, my trading performance isn't really that great, and I want to enhance and improve that by taking higher quality setups that are within my rules, but definitely missed this BPR retrace, but it's pretty overextended. If I will take this, it's gonna be something like this, and definitely aiming for the London highs, as it is my draw for the day. But right now, I don't see us longing unless we see a like extremely nice retrace out of some sort of lows. Hi guys, I think my draw is gonna be right. But if we inverse this first percentage for Valagat, I'm definitely shorting. But apart from that, uh, I don't think I'll be having a entry here. But we'll see if this BPR holds. I mean, provides a BPR and gives us a close here in the first percentage for Valagat. Then I'll take the forward probably just till internal lows. Definitely not here because what's that RR? Hi guys, I'm in the short, so this is my model. We have here BPR, uh inverse the first percent for value gap. Take profits. I'm going break even as soon as we take this low. Yeah, break even at that low. Yeah, it's basically what's my setup would be. It's like this one is equal high if we had the semi SMT out of those highs. As long as we take this low, I'm gonna be de-risking at this BPR high. But if we close below this, I'm going to break even. So this like the internal low over here. So yeah, everything here is my model. Yes, I'm definitely looking for longs, but if the model presents itself like I love BPRs, I love first percent of value gaps to get inverse, and also a change in state over here. Yeah, because sometimes you can be having like an equal high out of a session high and it's gonna go higher. In fact, we actually had an SMT out of those highs, which is definitely not the best. So break even again, it's gonna be here. What are R is this one? So this gonna be my full take profit here, if ever, because it just aligns well with the standard deviation. But I don't see the price going that low. So I'll start taking partials at this low. Start taking partials at this low, break even as soon as we close below this break even point. But yeah, I'll be updating you guys. I'm just gonna let this trade be, and that's my announcement for this trade. And we had an SMT out of this size right here. So I am bullish, but that displacement to the downside is something that is just so profound that it's something that I've seen over and over and over again. We can see this inverse value gap, a BPR that was created. Then we had here inverse on the first percentage for value gap and then ended off of that. So it's gonna be on this trade. Whatever happens, it is what it is. And yeah, overall, I'm expecting this BPR to hold. If it doesn't, then I'm out on the trade. Currently, we have an SMT out of those. Let's see if that holds. If it does, it's going to be a lot better. We have an SMT action over here. If it displays a lot lower, that's going to be great. Actually, let's take this fair value gap out as it is annoying to the eye. See if this BPR holds and this SMT holds. Now I'm going to be taken out of this trade, so that's that. 10 a.m. candle just opened. I'm pretty bullish for the day, but there's just no setup for longs for me. And as for shorts, guys, I'm only targeting internal lows. I'm not going like literally sell side. So these are lower time frame type of trade. This low I'm gonna be actually this low is already fine in my opinion. So 1:1 RR. If BPR fails to hold, let's say we inverse this BPR, then it's gone. Like, I mean, it's something that shows me that price is less likely to keep drawing lower because if a BPR fails to hold in. Right now, we failed to hold this S&T and are having bullish pressure But I'm still in the trade, guys. It's gonna be like market structure shift here. So right now, if you have this market structure shift, I can now de-risk to this high at least, or if you close, then we're gonna go break even. Just trust your model. If it fails, then probably, it's part of the probability game. If you know that every single part of the rules were followed and it failed, then it's part of the probability game. It's not something to be sad about. So just follow your system, follow your trade, and for life. It's gonna be our change in state. So I'm gonna be de-risking at this high. If we have this change in state, through market structure shift, we can de-risk more or even go to break even. Yeah. Right now I'm gonna be breaking even this market structure shift, then change in state will be a de-risk at that high. Anyways, I'm just gonna leave this trade right now. I'll be doing other things, so be updating you later on whatever the outcome of this trade, whether it be a stop loss or a take profit. But yeah, overall, this is gonna be my first take profit, and this are gonna be my other higher time frame take profits. I guess a little update. We're having SMTs, bearish SMTs everywhere because we've taken this swing high. This didn't. I mean, NQ didn't. ES took this 10 p.m. high while Nasdaq didn't. So I think these shorts should play as long as we have this change in state. I'll be de-risking at this high right here since we have S&Ps playing literally everywhere. That didn't close well as I anticipated it would be, but it is what it is. Not de-risking it. Currently, deers at this BPR high, but as soon as we get this change in state, then I'll be de-risking at this high because this high should be protected right now. And if that fails to hold, then that's not good. Hi guys, we successfully had a change in state delivery, so I did de-risk at this high. And currently, if you look at the 15 minute, this low, this market structure shift low is a 15-minute gap. So as soon as we tap this gap, I will be de-risking as it is a place where I intend or assume that we can reject. 1008 high was never taken out. So yeah, I'm gonna be keeping here just pushing literally 100% here, so I don't really mind. Uh, just trust the model, not the best price action, that's for sure. But I just gonna keep on trusting and trusting the model every single time. There's no gaps here that we might react onto. Yes, there's wicks that we might react onto, but this is the low where I'm really anticipating a reaction. So as soon as we tap this low, I'm going to break even. Or maybe not a break even. Yeah, not a break even. It depends. It depends. Because there's still this value gap low. It's taking a 1013 high. Hi guys, just a little update. I got stopped out at this de-risk high, but that high still hold with an SMT, but London highs are way up there. I do think that's probably gonna be the draw here. And yeah, it was a decent trade. It was a hella choppy trade. I basically stayed on drawdown for the majority of the time. But yeah, if this high holds and this goes down, then it's just a matter of just never de-risk. Because in the first place, I've accepted the risk here. I was risking 1.5%. And on this high, I was just risking under 1%. So I'm still up in the week. It is what it is. And it's going to be all for today, guys. And it's not the best price action for me. It was Definitely pretty choppy, but we did have surges of displacements. But I do think my initial draw was right. I think it's just gonna be retracing and just take those London highs. But if this dumps the downside after this lows, then that's great. That was the setup that I've taken. I just got stopped out of this de-risk. And is this de-risk valid at this point? Yes, because we did have S&Ps, and this high was already taken now. This high was already taken now. We have S&Ps everywhere, but it was a deep retrace. But yeah, it's gonna be all for today. Hope you found this video valuable and beneficial. These are always a reminder to just follow your rules, and every single time you follow your rules, you will be rewarded. And every single time you disobey your rules, you will be punished. That's all for today. Peace out.